This is a level 1 functional skills maths paper from Highfield. It's split into 2 parts. In the first part you can't use a calculator, but you can in the second part. This is the first part. Write these fractions in order from the smallest to the largest. So we've got 3/4, 3/8, 1/8 and 1/4. I'm going to quickly represent what these mean. So here is 3/4, 3/8 will look like this, 1/8 will look like this, so 1 out of the 8 highlighted, and 1/4 will look like this. So which one is the smallest? That's the 1/8. Then we've got 1/4, because 3/8 represents more. As you can see, there is a quarter and another slice, so 3/8 comes after that, and finally 3/4. You could have also just changed the fractions, so we've got 8s and 4s as denominators. If we turn them all into 8s, then we can easily compare. So this one, I'm gonna double the 4 to make 8 and double the 3 to make 6. The fraction still stays the same. It has the same value, represents the same amount. So doubling 4 gives us 8, doubling the 1 gives us 2. So we can easily see now that 1/8 would come first, then we have a quarter, which is 2/8, then we have 3/8, and then 6/8 or 3/4. Work out the value of 25 squared. 25 squared, that is 25 times 25. So we're going to work it out here, starting with the units. 5 times 5 gives us 25. So 5 down and 2 carried over. Now 5 times 2, which is 10, and the 2 we carried over, that is 12. We finished with the units, we're moving into the tens, so we're going to put a 0 down and treat this as if it was just 2, not 20. So 2 times 5, that is 10. 0 down, 1 carried over. 2 times 2 is 4, and the 1 we carried over, that is 5. So adding these two numbers together, 5 and 0 is 5, 2 and 0 is 2, 1 and 5 is 6. So 625. Calculate the value of 12 plus 12 times 12 minus 12. Write the answer in the box below. Okay, so we've got addition, multiplication and subtraction to do. We know that we need to do multiplication before we do addition or subtraction. So this one has priority. So that's why we're going to do 12 plus 12 times 12, that is 144. If you don't know that, you can work it out. So 12 times 12, 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 1 is 2. Finish with the unit, put the 0 down. So 1 times 2 is 2, 1 times 1 is 1. Adding them together gives us 144. Now we've got 12 times 12, so we'll continue with minus 12. Now we've got only addition and subtraction, which means we can take them in order that we read them. So 12 add 144 first. That is 6, 5, 1, so 156. Take away 12. 6 take away 2 gives us 4. 5 take away 1 gives us 4. 1 take away nothing gives us 1. So 144 is the final answer. Which of these nets can be folded to form a cuboid? Looking at the options, option A has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 faces. However, you can't make a cuboid with these because if you look at this length, it's not the same as this. They've got to be the same, because otherwise the lid or the base of the cuboid won't be able to cover the whole thing. Looking at option B, we have got these 4 rectangles, so you can imagine folding them, you'd form a cuboid, and these 2 flaps on the side, they've got the same length as the width of the bigger rectangles. So B works. Looking at C, it has only squares, so there is a flap on the other side that's missing, and it has 5 of these faces next to each other. It should be 4, not 5, but they're also squares. And looking at D, we've got only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 faces, and also these are much longer than they should be. So only option B works. Making bread. You want to start making bread. You found a machine that is on special offer. Maxi Bread Maker. List price £189. Special offer 15% discount off list price. How much will the bread maker cost after the discount? Show you working out and write the answer in the box below. So we've got to work out 15% of 189. So we'll find 10% first and then 5%. So 10% of 189. If this represented £189 in total, this would be 10%, so 1/10. So if I divide 189 by 10, it should give me 10% of it. So you've probably heard of moving the decimal point, in this case to the left as we're dividing and the number is getting smaller. Or you could just do 189 divided by 10. So how many 10s into 18? That's just 1, and we have 8 remaining. How many 10s into 89? That is 8. 8 lots of 10, that is 80. So we'd have 9 remaining. Now at this point, we can put decimal point here and into the answer as well, because we run out of digits. And we can always add these zeros after the decimal point, they don't make any difference. So how many 10s now into 90 is the question? That is 9 of them, because 9 times 10 is 90. So 18.9 is 10% of 189. 5% is half of the 10% amount. So what we can do is divide 18.9 by 2 to give us 5%. How many 2's fit into 18? That is 9, and we have nothing remaining. We've got a decimal point here, which we're going to transfer over to the answer as well. How many 2's into 9? That is 4 of them, because 4 times 2 is 8, so we have 1 remaining. Again, we can add zeros. They won't make any difference after the decimal point. So how many 2's into 10? That is 5 of them. So 9.45. So 18.9 or £18.90, as we're talking about money. If we add the £9.45 to that, gives us the total discount. So 0 and 5 is 5, 9 and 4 is 13, so 3 down and 1 is carried over. 9 and 1 is 10, and the 8 is 18, so 8 down and 1 carried over. 1 and 1 is 2, so £28.35 is the discount. We need to take it away from the £189, that is the full cost of the bread maker. So taking away £28.35. So we've got to take away 35 pence from 0. So that means we've got to borrow £1 from the 9. So £1 is 100 pence. 100 pence, take away 35 pence, leaves us with 65 pence. Now 8 take away 8 is 0. 8 take away 2 is 6. 1 take away nothing is 1. So £160.65. That is the cost of the bread maker. You use the following instructions to make bread. 20 minutes to make and prepare the mixture. 50 minutes to bake. 15 minutes to cool, then it is ready to eat. You want the bread to be ready to eat at 10:30 a.m. You start making the bread at 9:15 a.m. Will the bread be ready to eat at 10:30 a.m.? Show your working out and write the answers in the box below. So if we start at 9:15 a.m. and then it takes 20 minutes to make and prepare the mixture, so I'm going to add 20 minutes. 20 and 15, that is 35, so it will be 9:35 a.m. when we finish this. Then it takes 50 minutes to bake, so I'm going to break down 50 into 25 and 25, because if I add 25 here, it will take me to 10 a.m. If I add another 25, it will take me to 10:25 a.m. and then 15 minutes. So 25, if I add 15 to that, it's going to give me 40. So 10:40 a.m. Will the bread be ready to eat at 10:30 a.m.? No. I'm going to say 10 minutes later. Highfield Delivery Service. You're a driver for Highfield Delivery Service. The company has 5 white vans, 3 green vans and 2 black vans. Each morning you take a set of keys at random. On the scale below, put an X to indicate the probability that the keys you take will be for a black van. So we've got 5 and 3, which is 8, and 2, 10. So 10 vans in total. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 divisions. So looking at black vans, that's 2 out of 10. So there is one, that's 2 here. 2 out of 10. Your salary is £16,500. Your boss gives you a 5% increase. How much will your new salary be with the 5% increase? Show your working out and write the answer in the box below. So again, we'll use the 10% method to get to 5%. So you can imagine this representing 16,500. So 10% will be 1/10. So if I divide 16,500 by 10, it should give me 10%. So you might know the method to just knock off a 0. If so, just go ahead and do it. Or you could do division like this. How many tens would fit into 16? That's one of them, so we have 6 remaining. How many tens into 65? That is 6 of them, 5 remaining. How many tens into 50? That is exactly 5. How many tens into 0? That is 0. So 1,650 is equal to 10%. 5% will be half of that. So if I divide 1,650 by 2, should give me what 5% is worth. So how many 2's into 16? That is 8, because 2 lots of 8 gives us 16. How many lots of 2 fit into 5? That is 2, because 2 lots of 2 gives us 4. 5 take away 4 gives us 1, so there is 1 remaining. How many 2's into 10 now? That is 5. So 825 is equal to 5% of £16,500. So the increase is £825. Question is, how much will your new salary be with a 5% increase? So 5% we've just worked out, adding that on top of the 16,500 should give us the new salary. So 0 and 5 is 5, 0 and 2 is 2, 5 and 8 is 13, so 3 down and 1 carried over, 6 and 1 is 7, 1 add nothing to it is 1. So £17,325. The company you work for records the number and type of packages it delivers. Each month the figures are displayed in a chart. The angles on the chart represent the number of parcels delivered. Small parcels make up 2/5 of the packages. Letters make up 17% of the packages. Large parcels make up the remainder of the packages. Complete the table below. So we've got type of package and angle in pie chart. So what do we know so far? We know about small parcels making up 2/5 of the packages. How many degrees is that in the pie chart? We know that in a full circle there are 360 degrees. So full circle with 360 degrees. Small parcels make up 2/5 of the packages. So if I split this into 5 equal parts, 2 out of 5 will be making up small parcels. So if I now divide 360 by 5 to work out what one of these slices is equal to in terms of degrees, that will help me work out 2/5 when I then double it. So how many 5s into 36? That is 7 of them, because 7 times 5 is 35. So we have 1 remaining. How many 5s into 10? That is 2. So 72 degrees, that's just one of these slices. But we've got 2 of them, 2/5. So we're going to double that, 72 and 72. So there is 4, 7 and 7 is 14. So 144 degrees represent small parcels. Then we have 17% that make up letters. So we need to work out 17% of 360. As we can't use a calculator, we'll break down 17% into 10, 5, and then 2%. So if we work out 10% first, then we can halve that to get 5%, and then we can work out 1% and another 1. So in total that becomes 17%. So 10% of 360. So 360 divided by 10. How many 10s into 36? That is 3 of them. And we've got 6 remaining. How many 10s into 60? That is 6 of them. So 10% is 36 degrees. 5% is half of that. So what is half of 36? If you don't know this by heart. So how many 2's fit into 3? That is 1. And then we have 1 remaining. How many 2's into 16? That is 8. So 5% is 18. What about 1%? So 1% is like dividing the whole amount by 100. Not just 10, by 100. So 360 divided by 100. How many hundreds fit into 300? That is 3 of them. So we then have 60 remaining. We've run out of digits, so put a decimal point here and in the answer. So we can add zeros now. How many hundreds into 600? That is exactly 6 of them. So 3.6 is 1%. And another 1%, that is 3.6. So we could put 0.0 here if we want. 6 and 6, that is 12. So 2 down and 1 carried over. 6 and 8 is 14. And the 3 is 17. And the 3 is 20. And the 1 we carried over, 21. So 1 down and 2 carried over. 2 and 3 is 5 and the 1 is 6. So 61.2. So 61.2, that represents 17%. So 61.2 degrees represent letters. Whatever is left will represent large parcels. So we've got 144 degrees and 61.2. So that is 2, 5, 10, so 0 down, 1 carried over, 1 and 1 is 2. So 205.2 degrees make up small parcels and letters. If I take that away from 360, it should give me what large parcels are represented by. So take away 205.2. We can put 0.0 here. So we need to take away 2 from the 0, but we can't, so we've got to look at borrowing. Can we borrow from the 0 here? No, we can't. So that means we've got to borrow 1 from the 6. So this becomes 10 now. Now I can borrow 1 from the 10. So I make it a 9, and this becomes a 10. 10 take away 2 gives me 8. 9 take away 5 is 4. 5 take away 0 is 5. 3 take away 2 is 1. So 154.8. So we've completed the table, and this is the end of the first part.